What if Harry Potter was raised by Voldemort? Let's explore it in the video, step by step through a darker timeline. Smoke clings to Godric's hollow like wet wool, tasting of ash and split timber. A small rat noses through glittering glass, whiskers twitching at the iron tang of magic that still crackles in the air. In the ruined nursery, a baby cries in a ring of untouched floorboards, while a thin, tattered wraith coils above the crib like black steam, whispering through teeth it no longer has.
You did not defeat me, child. You completed me. You will be the body I deserve.
Boots crunch outside. Peter Pettigrew slips in before help arrives, heart jackhammering, eyes wide at the sight no Death Eater thought possible. The Dark Lord unstuck from flesh, the boy alive, Lily Potter still and pale. Pettigrew tastes a new kind of terror and a familiar greed. If he runs, the war ends without him. If he stays, the future might still have a throne.
My lord, I found your murderer, and he still breathes.
He scoops up the baby, the scar already pulsing with deep red gold, and promises the wraith everything he has to give. Hiding places, passageways, loyal cowards. He disapparates as the first phoenix cry arcs over the village. Hours later, Dumbledore stands at the empty crib and the burned walls and knows that nothing is over.
The crib is empty. The war is not.
In an abandoned Albanian fastness, Death Eaters gather around a floating, whispering shadow, tethered to a stone cradle. The wraith christens the child Hadrian, and decrees a different childhood. Not a cupboard, but a crucible. Snape, bound by guilt and orders, becomes the boy's iron tutor. The old magic that saved the child once coils lower and quieter now, biding, learning the shape of the second soul it shelters. Mercy is not gone. It is waiting to choose a side. Moist stone sweats on torchlit walls. Green fire in braziers throws serpents across a crack-veined floor. A thin shadow hangs like a torn banner above a chair where a boy sits very still, jaw tight, eyes steady. The lesson tastes of metal and salt.
Your mind is a fortress. Pity your heart insists on leaving a door.
Harry pushes back with thought like iron plates, sealing windows in his head while the wraith scratches at them from the other side. He learns that calm is a weapon. He learns that fear is a stair others climb to reach him. He learns that the voice in his scar rewards ruthlessness and punishes hesitation.
You will sit at Dumbledore's table and smile while you measure his throat.
A cellar stinks of blood and wet rope. A captured hit wizard breathes in panicked bursts. Bellatrix paces, hungry for the sound of agony. Voldemort orders a rite of passage. Harry lifts his wand and chooses a different line to cross. Pain, yes, but not destruction. The man drops unconscious, intact enough to be tracked later. He is asked why he spared a piece when he could have broken it.
If pain is all you respect, then let them fear my restraint.
Maps crowd a table, Auror routes, safe houses, Hogwarts circled in red ink like a prize. Voldemort admits only what feeds appetite, a prophecy half overheard in a smoky room. He wants the rest. Snape says the wording hides in two places, Dumbledore's mind and a shelf of whispering glass. The boy will go where no Death Eater can stand unmasked. He will be eyes. He will be knife. An owl bashes itself against black glass until parchment smolders in the wards. Hogwarts insists. Voldemort laughs. Let the castle think it summons a child. It summons a blade. Diagon Alley tastes of dust and warm wood shavings. Under a careful glamour and a forged lineage, Hadrian Peveril steps into Ollivander's shop. Boxes hum like hives. Wand after wand rejects him until one settles like a thought that finally arrives. Phoenix feather. Ollivander's gaze sharpens, but his lips keep their secrets. Steam and sugar hang heavy along platform 9 3/4. He watches families that know how to be families, and envy stings like cold air.
Hadrian Peveril, huh? About time someone interesting turned up in Slytherin.
Candles drift under the great hall's stars. The hat lowers over his sight and finds not one mind, but two, pressed together like faces in a mirror. The hat whispers of paths. The wraith presses like frost. The boy chooses ambition because he is sick of being a chessboard and wants to be a player. Tea smells like lemon and old honey in the headmaster's office. Silver instruments hum higher whenever the scar throbs. Fawkes watches, head tilted, orange eye bright.
You have your mother's eyes and someone else's shadow.
Polite questions, gentle traps. A mind probe that stops on the edge of something coiled and cold. Dumbledore will not strike a child. He will watch instead. Watching is a kind of restraint, and sometimes restraint saves lives. Green-lit stone rings the Slytherin dorms. The Black Lake presses its weight against the windows. Alone, quill whispering, Harry uses pain as ink and writes thoughts into the scar. The reply arrives like breath he thought was his own. He walks the castle's veins and memorizes its heartbeat. Classrooms taste of chalk and challenge. He measures professors by how readily they underestimate him. He lets Draco crown him with casual privilege and learns how power smiles. The night ends with numbers spoken aloud for the first time, a scoreboard carved into voice. Scoreboard, Allies 1, Intel on Prophecy 0, Artifacts 0, Control over the Link 0. Daylight drills in dungeons burn discipline into bone. Midnight whispers in dreams tempt him to open the window he just sealed. Dust motes swirl in restricted light while he copies the colder ideas. Horcrux theory, blood wards, bargains that taste like iron filings. A bushy-haired Gryffindor slides a safer book his way and asks nothing in return. Draco teaches him the art of favors and the geometry of whispers. Harry learns when to bend, when to let others notice they are bending. Again and again, he walks a cracked nursery, a green flash folding time, a woman's breath catching on his name. Sparks and sweat in a hidden circle. He redirects spells mid-flight, feeling how the scar hums like a tuning fork when intent sharpens. A feather on a windowsill, a memory that wasn't there yesterday, a question hanging like a lantern. Choice is the magic we forget to count. Owls for others. For him, heat under skin as words become impulses and orders become instincts. The line between command and desire blurs like ink in rain. Polished stone and golden fountain spray greet them at the ministry. The air smells like wax and paperwork and ambition. A school group walks in neat lines, eyes full of ceilings. Somewhere deep, a lift door sighs open on a corridor that drinks light. The voice arrives like silk tugged through a ring.
Down the black corridor. Take what is mine before the old man turns it into a sermon.
Harry drifts. Draco chats. Snape, masked by a charm, adjusts a cuff and pretends not to see. Doors breathe shut behind the boy. Cold gathers like fog. He steps into alleys of glass that whisper in other people's voices. Orbs tremble when he passes, then go still, like animals convinced a predator has changed its mind. The shelf that calls his name hums brighter. The scar prickles. He reaches. The orb warms. His reflection bends across its curve. Occlumency clamps down, clean and cold. This is stealing knowledge before the enemy can sentence you with it. This is hunger given a plan. Footsteps meet in the aisle, soft, then measured, then sure. Cloaks rustle from one side, masks lift from the other. Wands rise like the second half of a thought. The prophecy balances in his palm. Everyone waits for someone else to blink first. A shouted command, a light too quick, a hand that opens by choice or mistake. The orb falls. It breaks in a ring of blue-white words that burn the floor and pour themselves up into ears. A few lines, enough to cut, not enough to bind. The raw magic leaps, which way is forward, and finds the most direct path to what is its subject and its conduit. The scar drinks lightning. He staggers and catches himself, and sees out of the corner of one eye a friend's shoe sliding over the edge of a low stone arch, whose curtain of whispers tastes like cold wind from a long hallway. He orders the veil to be still in a language most people hear only as hissing.
You risked everything for me. Why?
Because you're not a piece on anyone's board, not even his.
Order and Death Eaters alike go still at the sound. Parseltongue rings like a stamp from the other side. Masks become more than masks. The boy in the middle is now a door everyone is afraid to open, and more afraid to leave closed.
Some doors open only once, Mr. Peveril. You chose to open the one between us.
You picked up my language to put down my plan. Interesting. Keep your nerve. I will keep your life. For now.
Wands clash. Stunners flash. Order members shove children toward lifts. Death Eaters melt between shelves. Shards of prophecy crunch underfoot. When quiet returns, power has not changed hands, but lines have blurred. The boy who walked into a hall to steal a sentence has become a sentence with legs. Basalt shadows pool in a chamber where laughter sounds like knives. Voldemort calls weakness what Harry calls leverage, and lets the argument land where it will.
Mercy is rot. Cut it out.
Mercy is camouflage. Let it live, if it makes the kill easier.
Mercy is a word I will allow you to pronounce, as long as it makes others kneel faster.
In the headmaster's office, Lemon and Old Wood hold the night together. Two men argue over a boy who pretends not to be there.
He is too much like his father. Pride first, then ruin.
He is his mother's courage, wearing his father's face.
And your plan is to trust the face, because you miss the courage.
In white sheets and drafty windows, Hermione sits stiff-backed and fierce.
You saved me like a hero and lie like a Death Eater. Which one is the act?
He tries a half-truth and tastes how it curdles. Night opens like a trap-door. The vision smells of ash and milk. Godric's hollow folds around him again, too bright and too dead. The voice becomes a presence, becomes a hand made of winter.
Dumbledore's plan has always needed a sacrifice with a scar. Only I chose you as heir. Give me your body willingly, and the prophecy dies with our division. We will be one mind, one will, one end.
If I let you in, do I disappear, or do you?
There is no you and me, only how quickly you stop pretending to be two.
Stars above the astronomy tower flicker like cold candles. Dumbledore's eyes hold sorrow like a steady flame.
There is a fragment of him in you. I can try to remove it. You might die. You might break. I cannot promise survival. I can promise you will not be his.
Everyone wants something from me they won't name. You at least admit the cost.
Back in the green-lit common room, Slytherins argue about whether loyalty follows fear or charisma. Some watch Harry like he's a comet that might be a sword. Some watch like they're deciding if they'll need to run. The headmaster's ethic hangs in the air like a tolling bell.
If we call a child a weapon long enough, someone will use him as one, and none of us will deserve to win.
Runes glow under the castle's belly. Phoenix heat lifts the air. Harry sleeps. Dumbledore and Snape speak words older than the walls and draw lines older than the war. The ritual's taste is copper on the tongue and riverstone underfoot. The link snaps tight like a garrote. A colder mind notices.
They try to cut me out of you like a tumor. See how they love you when you stop being useful.
Possession hits like a plunge into winter water. Through Harry's hands, green light leaps and stone screams. The castle stumbles. Staircases swing too fast. Portraits shriek and run door to door with bad news. Ministry officials lift badges like shields and declare protection while reaching for leashes. A rescue burns sideways through the corridors. A dog's silhouette, a man's laugh that tries to bury fear under bravado. Wands cross, doors slam. Someone falls and doesn't get back up. A loss smoulders that will not be mended by speeches. Snape dives with thought instead of body, slipping into a mindscape of ash and cracked floorboards. Two figures stand there, a boy clenching his teeth until they spark, a man without a face standing where a mother once stood.
You are not his vessel. You are her son. Decide which you'd rather be.
He opens his own chest and shows the memory he never tells, Lily's plea breaking like glass, his own vow cutting him into a new shape. He hands the boy a door and teaches him how to shut it.
Remember who stood by you when they made you a problem to solve.
You both keep talking about what I'm meant to be. When do I get a say?
The ritual gutters. The castle steadies like a ship finding the wave again. Apologies don't fix trust, but they start fires in rooms where cold had settled.
Too late is the only time some men learn they were wrong.
The boy counts losses in the language of breath. He decides not to be a battlefield others fight over, while telling him it's for his good. The room of requirement becomes a war room with a round table and maps that hum. A chalk-white pattern blooms on the floor like frost flowers. They choose to invite the storm where children can be moved out of the rain and where the rules can be written in advance. Harry will be bait and anchor, stepping into a circle drawn from Peveril designs and Lily's protection. Dumbledore will duel loud and bright, a shield that thinks like a sword. Snape will sell a false angle to a man who loves being smarter than everyone. Hermione and Draco will move students like chess pieces out of harm and draw backup circles where blood won't be asked to pay.
If someone has to be the battlefield, let it be me. I'm already built for it.
Then our job is to make sure you walk off it.
Merlin, help me. I'm siding with the boy who might kill my father.
For once, Potter, try not to improvise.
They say the numbers allowed to make them real and to give themselves something to beat. Scoreboard. Allies 1 to 4. Draco, Hermione, Dumbledore, Snape. Intel on Horcruxes 0 to 2. Scar confirmed. Another hinted in a diary's stink. Control over the link 0 to 1. Door learned, not a wall. Public perception. Dark Prince too unstable. Wildcard. The Great Hall sheds its banners and becomes a sigil field. Every spell that strikes stone writes in light. Protective lines glow soft gold. Sacrifices carve deep red. Dominations burn sickly green. Murders stain black. The crack veins growing across the floor gradually take on a pattern from a night no one in this room remembers but him. Death Eaters arrive like a storm with a conductor. Voldemort walks as if he owns the floor, because terror writes deeds in other people's hands. Students are gone. Teachers stand in flanks. The boy waits in the center, and the headmaster stands beside him, old, bright, relentless. Air tastes like metal before lightning.
At last, a proper room to end a legend in.
Truth prefers daylight. So do I.
They open with craft. Transfigured statues grip snakes that try to become chains. Shields bloom like glass and break like glass. Killing curses punch black pits in the sigil field. Conjured phoenixes explode into showers of protective runes. Harry joins with spells that disarm, trip, yank wands, slam doors. The field hums. The pattern favors protection and sacrifice. For a moment, mercy looks like an advantage you can measure. Then reversal. A few among the staff do not flinch when masks drop. They join the wrong side, and the wrong side laughs. The Order answers with curses that stop hearts because they must, and the floor eats those choices and remembers them in black. Some Death Eaters step into spells to bleed on purpose, to buy their master bigger runes. The field darkens under their bodies, and Voldemort smiles as if funerals are birthdays.
See how easily they give me what I need.
Don't look at them. Look at me. Keep the line.
Reinforce the third rune, now!
The link shrieks. Inside, the ash room blazes. The nursery's cracks spread, dust jumping like startled fleas. The Dark Lord hurls himself against the door Snape taught Harry to build and splits it like rotten wood.
I said there was no you and me. Time to stop pretending.
He rides the boy's body like a stolen horse. Dumbledore takes a curse that paints the air with silence. Wands falter. The field glows almost entirely with domination and death. The crowning rune at the center flickers toward a verdict that means a world ruled by one will and no mercy. The offer returns like a hand on the shoulder.
Give me control, and I will spare them.
Harry sees her, arms outstretched, no wand, nothing but a decision that had been made before magic learned her name. The green light comes again in memory. Not in the hall. He remembers a cellar and a choice he named strategy because he was afraid of the word principle. His arm rises for the killing curse. The hall holds its breath. Everything says, end it with the word that ends things. He picks the word that refuses endings.
Expelliarmus!
It shatters the space like a bell. It isn't a child's move here. It is a declaration of jurisdiction. The sigil field flips like a coin in heat. Gold and red explode across black and green, overwriting what can be overwritten, bathing what cannot in light that is not soft. Cracks spider outward in the exact pattern of a circle of ash around a crib. The hall becomes the nursery written huge. The rune crown can no longer tolerate two souls that push away from each other this hard. It writes the only sentence that keeps the floor from breaking. Dumbledore, blood seeping into his sleeve, adds a line of binding that fits perfectly into the pattern the boy made. Fawkes screams. Feathers fall like sparks that heal. The Dark Lord tears free from the boy like ice from a mold.
Then tonight, Tom, you face the hand that forged that blade, and the heart you never understood.
You were never a boy, only a blade I forgot to swing.
Potter, if you insist on surviving, do it now. I am running out of clever plans.
Come back, Harry. We still have books you haven't read.
The exposed soul rages, clutching for anchors already broken or deliberately burned. The field offers only two options, annihilation or prison. The light chooses according to the grammar the duel has written. Magic takes the fragment into the runes, or into a single inert thing that cannot move without being moved. Either way, the grip on the boy loosens. The scar pales. The screaming stops. Harry drops. Breath returns like a stubborn wave. The hall smells of warm stone and thunder aftermath. He has not killed to win. He has refused a kind of killing and still won. That choice will not please everyone. It will be how the world remembers tonight.
If he dies, who exactly are we supposed to be afraid of?
Silence presses, then lifts. Somewhere far above, bells think about ringing. Morning scrubs smoke from the ceiling. The hall wears scars like tattoos. People sort the living from the dead and decide which they are. The taste of iron fades. Draco stands among bound Slytherins, jaw tight. Some shout for Azkaban. Some whisper for mercy, as if the word might bite.
If we turn every enemy into a ghost, we'll never stop living in haunted houses.
He asks for work instead of a prison that teaches worse lessons. He asks for rebuilding instead of rotting. He asks for the chance to learn how to be cunning without being cruel.
So what now, Potter? We build instead of burn?
We build the rules we wish we'd had.
Pettigrew shakes in a corner, eyes pinging from wand to wand. The Ministry wants a quick ending stamped justice. Harry wants a slower line that puts ink where the harm actually happened.
He betrayed my parents. Let the world hear it from a courtroom, not a cellar. Let guilt speak on the record, not only in nightmares.
The headmaster refuses crowns and cages alike. He cedes the school to steadier hands. A council forms where one voice used to ring. Houses mingle, not because a speech tells them to, but because a wall fell and no one wants it back.
You were forged in the worst of us, and still chose the best. That is your true magic.
Harry refuses titles that turn boys into statues, chooses study and service, the quiet work of containing darkness without learning to love it. He learns with Kingsley, he learns with Snape, he learns with Hermione, he learns with Draco, who tries being useful and finds it suits him better than being feared. Underwater, in cold silt, a thing flickers once, then plays dead. Not all embers are loud. The future shapes hands to hold them or drown them. This timeline breathes, aware that choices do not stop when banners come down. That is one timeline where raising Harry in darkness sharpens his capacity to choose light and makes mercy a weapon that wins. That's our theory of a Harry raised by Voldemort. If you want more timelines where a single choice reshapes the wizarding world, like the video, share it with a fellow Potter fan, and subscribe for the next What If? Perhaps when Hermione wears green and writes a different ending.